Welcome to Ask Fear and Greed, where we take your questions and do our best to answer them. I'm Michael Thompson, and good afternoon, Sean Aylmer.
Hello, Michael.
Sean, if you have a question for us, jump onto fearandgreed.com.au or any of the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Facebook is where this one has come from. It's come from Luke, and I have never been so glad that you are here today, Sean, and I'm not trying to wing it on this one. Because the question is a multi-part question.
Mm-hmm.
And Luke says via Facebook, he goes, is it just me or are markets way off in pricing in rate cuts more so than normal? I'm not old enough to have paid much attention to market changes prior to 2014. But that's a bit of a dig at you, I think, Sean. But
yeah, possibly.
It seems that the COVID pandemic was completely unprecedented and the shockwaves are unable to be managed as a result. We have high inflation, strong economic growth, good unemployment numbers, decent real estate, and people still have plenty of money to spend, less and less each month, however. Is this normal historically?
Oh, Michael, what is normal?
That's a very good question. I could probably answer that one.
Yeah, so many parts to this cracking question. Let's go through them. Are markets way off in pricing in rate cuts? Part one. Yes, I think so. Reserve Bank Governor Michelle Bullock has made it very clear there won't be a rate cut until next year, but still one is priced in this year. Now, the Reserve Bank isn't always right. We found that out in 2022 to the detriment of many people. And so maybe the market is right and the Reserve Bank is wrong. There will be a rate cut later this year, but that's not what the Reserve Bank is saying, and it is what's priced in. Time will tell who is right, but given everything the central bank has said, I think it's fair to say markets are off the pace on that one. Part two of the question. It seems that the COVID pandemic was completely unprecedented and the shockwaves are unable to be managed as a result. I agree about COVID being completely unprecedented. Certainly over the last century, maybe the Spanish flu or something like that, Michael, perhaps could be compared to it.
I wasn't alive at that time, unfortunately.
No, nor me, Michael, nor me.
Oh,
the infancy of this that I might have been. Yep.
Good to clarify.
Now, the second part, managing the shockwaves has proven extremely difficult. There's no doubt about that. And, I mean, I always think of the supply chain disruption. That's the one that really hit hardest. Trade slowed markedly. All this flow of goods stopped. It took a long time, or maybe it's still taking a long time, to get things normalized. The way I think about this one is, the world is going a bit mad when used car prices start rising, and they start rising fast because dealers can't get new cars into the country. That's exactly what happened during COVID. So very difficult to manage, definitely unprecedented, very difficult to manage. The upshot of that was inflation. And authorities have been fighting to deal with inflation ever since. It is getting under control, though it isn't there yet. It might be almost there in Europe, maybe almost there in the US, but not in Australia. So to the question, we have high inflation, tick on that one. Strong economic growth, not sure about that one. We don't really. Growth is running at about 1% per annum, and that's only because of immigration. We're actually in a per capita recession. If the same number of people were in the economy as there was 2 years ago, we would be in a recession. But certainly given how fast and far rates have gone, we've done pretty well. Good unemployment numbers. Definite tick on that one. Decent real estate. Tick on that one. People still have plenty of money to spend, less and less each month. Not sure about this one, Luke. Some demographics are definitely finding it very tough, like first home buyers, lower income groups. Others aren't, notably many retirees. The point, is this normal historically? Well, broadly, very broadly, yes. This is how the economy runs. Each economic cycle has its own quirks, and the hangover from COVID is quite the quirk. But interest rates have slowed the economy. They continue to do so. They are doing what they're supposed to do. Keep in mind the unemployment rate, the unemployment rate is still relatively low. It's a lagging indicator, so it takes a while to catch up to what's happening in the real economy. People don't just think, we had a bad day today, I'm going to sack someone. they actually wait for months and 6 months maybe before they decide we just can't afford the people anymore. We're going to let them go. So that's why unemployment is a lagging indicator. Don't be surprised if it quickly heads to 4.5% or beyond this year as it does start to catch up with what's happening in the real economy. Inflation has proven very tough to control, particularly services inflation, which includes lots of labour costs. But there are definitely signs that service inflation is moderating, and Governor Michelle Bullock from the Reserve Bank is very determined to cull inflation. As she keeps saying, the alternate is much worse in the long run. Bottom line is that economics is working broadly, as you would expect, Luke. But to your point, COVID is such a weird and wild starting point. This economic cycle is just a lot more quirkier than the others.
That's exactly what I was going to say. All of that. You took the words right out of my mouth, Sean, just before I had a chance to unleash on that question. What a brilliant question that was.
Yeah. That's just like, that is appealing to my ego, Luke. It's just like, start crapping on about the economy, Sean. Thank you very much. I think I will.
Yeah, just switch off the mic and just wander off for about 3 or 4 minutes, come back, and he'll still be going.
Absolutely.
No, I thought that was a ripper. So thank you, Luke, for sending that one in, and thank you, Sean, for answering it so eloquently.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Luke. Great question.
Indeed. Remember, if you've got something that you would like to know, it doesn't need to be on the economy. It can be on anything to do with business or anything, really, and we'll give it a crack. God, that's risky, isn't it? Saying anything, really, we'll give it a crack.
Can we do an Ask Michael?
Yeah. Do like relationships coaching.
Yeah, I was going to say a mathematical problem would be good for you.
Yeah, that too. I could do my own version of Dolly Doctor. Remember that from the Dolly magazines?
Wow. Yes, I do vaguely.
Okay. Anyway, going to a weird place now. If you have something that you would like to know, send it on through via LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, or at fearandgreed.com.au. I'm Michael Thompson, and this is Ask Fear and Greed.